Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are going to be taking our notes on force and motion. You're probably going to hear Mr. Sisk's tutoring class back there, but that's okay. So, force and motion. When we were doing the ramp activity, we learned that gravity was the force making that ball fall, correct? All right. So, what happens is gravity is that force from the earth that pulls everything to the center. And when you had the ball on the ramp, you held the ball on the end of the ramp. When you let go of the ball, it fell down the ramp because gravity was pulling it down, and then it rolled across the carpet or the towel or the paper. The force on the carpet that stopped the marble from rolling was friction, right? Okay. So let's see, friction. Was friction, right? Okay. So we had that marble, right? And if you think about it, that marble on that carpet was kind of like.
Can you please report to the front? Shalita Valderas, please report to the front.
Would be kind of like a soccer ball kicking it in the grass compared to the street, right? In the grass, it's going to be a little bit harder to kick because of the friction, right? But on the street, it's going to be a whole lot easier to kick because of the lack of friction. This grass makes friction, whereas the street has no friction. So, friction is a force that slows or stops motion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Or movement. When objects rub together, when they rub together. So, this grass here, for example, is rubbing against this soccer ball. I don't know how to draw a soccer ball, or I would. I mean, I don't know what it looks like, so. This grass is rubbing up against this soccer ball, so it makes it slow down. Whereas, I've got a little bit higher surface, whereas in the sidewalk, there's nothing kind of rubbing on that ball, right? So it goes a little bit faster than it does in the grass. So, the rougher, the rougher the surface, the harder they push together. Push together. Okay, so the rougher it is, the more this grass pushes against this ball, creating more friction. Okay, so the rough, the harder they push together, which increases friction. Okay, so we have gravity that pulls everything to the center. So gravity is a force that pulls, right? And friction is a force that slows or stops because of things rubbing together. So like when you rub your hands together, that's friction between your hands, okay? Your hands like this rub together pretty fast, but when you have a pair of gloves on, they rub a little bit slower, right? Okay? The last force that we're going to talk about is magnetism. Magnetism. Okay? Now, in magnetism, you know that we have a north and south pole, right? So we're going to call the blue south and the red north. Good job. Did you know the reason they call it north is because it points north when you have a magnet in front of you? Okay? So magnetism is a force that pushes or repels and pulls or attracts. Okay? So, in this example, what do we have going on here? Okay? And here, these are not going to stay together, are they? Right? So this is repelling. Good job. So if this is repelling, what kind of force is that? That is a push. Good job. These, on the other hand, are staying together, right? What is this one called? This is attraction. Okay? This is attraction. So this is a push because it's pushing each other together, whereas this one is pushing each other apart. This one is, pulling. They're pulling together, whereas this one is pushing apart. Good job. What is the only thing that sticks to a magnet? Good job. Iron.
Oh, wait a second. You can't answer that without measuring that. So let me get it.
So, I'll let you in a little secret. Okay, the way to remember what sticks to a magnet, we sync. We have steel, iron, nickel, and cobalt. Cobalt. These attract. Okay? So, y'all have only seen the steel and the iron because we don't have a lot of nickel and cobalt to use. So, these are the three forces. So, a force is a push or a pull that can cause movement or motion. Okay? So when I push something, I'm going to be able to move it, right? When I pull something, I'm going to be able to move it. Okay? This magnet here, when I'm something that isn't attracted to a magnet and I try to stick to it, it could push it out of the way. If I'm sticking it to a piece of iron, it's going to pull it to me, right? Whereas gravity pulls everything to the middle. And then friction is pushing on each other, okay? And all of these will make motion. And now motion is the change in position of an object because of force. Okay? So, we have force the change in position of an object because of force, which creates work. Okay? So, force is a push or a pull. They can cause movement. The forces we have are gravity. This is going to attract objects toward each other. Magnetism. This is the force that pushes or pulls toward a magnet. And then we have friction, which rubs together to make things stop, or makes them continue to go. And then we have motion. And motion is the change. These three things will cause motion, which is the change of position because of force, which then creates work. So, I hope that y'all have a great day.